Hello all, welcome to my video on how to set up an order sheet, or probably better, update your order sheet. Right, suppose we're working in Excel. We have a tab of orders for a certain amount of stock. It usually comes in the form of an ID list, product ID, which is a unique number. There'll be no repetitions of these numbers, or shouldn't be anyway. And your reason, your instruction for how, in this case, how many you're going to order. So order 36, 6, 58, whatever. And there'd be a category. Suppose you're working in a grocery store. A could be fresh food. C could be frozen food, or B could be, tinned food or whatever. We want to make sure that all of these correspond. So also on here we have our order list. This is what we're going to update and send off to the warehouse. This is from this week, and here is a formula check sheet. So this is my check formulas. All my formulas sit in here, and I always colour them a different colour. Usually red or white writing, just my preference. Work to be done is usually coloured in orange. Work has been done is usually in blue. Okay, so this is probably leftover. This is leftover from the previous week. I mean, ideally you could delete it, but for the purpose of this exercise, I'm going to leave it in there just to show you what's going to happen. So we want to put the information for this week's order from our other tab. Notice how the fields match. We just copy over here, and you can press Control, Shift, and down, and it select all of your entries. Copy and C. Tab over. Copy Alt V. Copy Alt V. Paste values in. Okay, so my formula sheet has actually come up with a couple of things here. So far here, we've got our ID, does the ID match? So that's actually referring to, we click on this box, and you can see it's saying to us if E4, blue writing, is equal to A4, it says ID matches. So ID matches. Okay, likewise again here, the boxes point to where the reference cells for this problem. Okay, another method you can use also is to go up to formula, and you can do trace precedence, and you can see the arrow points to the cells that are involved in this formula. Right, so IDs match here, but last week we ordered 50. This week we only want 36, so our reason is not matching. Also, our order is a shipment of D products last week. This week is A. Okay, perhaps it's been stored in a different location. Whatever, we don't know. So category doesn't match. Okay, so each one here. See, reason does match. Reason. Category. If C4 equals the same as here, we're going to say category matches. It doesn't in this case. Let's have a little mess around. Let's see what happens if I change this. Put this over here to A. Okay. Category matched. Okay. Got my formulas set up on automatic, so it automatically does it. Sometimes you may want to switch off to manual, so you can change this back to D. But remember, press F9 to execute those commands. Right. F9. And press F9. Now it matches. Right, I'm going to put it back to D. Enter D. Okay. So first thing to do would be you can do make sure that this index here is in the same list as here to here. Okay, now there's a quick way to do this. It's what I quite like. So I select in the tab here, which highlights the entire row. Control Shift L, and you get your filter tabs up. Okay, so we go on to this one here, column A, and we're going to filter it, sort from A to Z. Okay. So now each one of these will be in numerical rising order. So it gets larger and larger and larger and larger. Okay. Let's get rid of all of this. Highlight it, clear contents, and let's go back to the other tab. Go to the top, Control Shift L, here, sort A to Z. This should be in ascending numerically. You want to do descending numerically, largest number at the top, smallest at the bottom, press Z to A. Okay. Let's take all of this, do the same as we do, Control Tab down, Control C, click over to our order sheet, place it in there, Control Alt V, values. Notice how these columns have not updated because I have calculator options on manual, so I need to press F9. Okay. ID matches. ID matches. Okay, what I'm going to do here, because the formulas are in place in here, I'm going to clear the contents. So there are no formulas present in here. Okay, so clear contents. If you want to check if there's any formulas in here, formula bar, show formulas. Okay, let's go across a little bit. Formulas only exist in this top row. No formulas anywhere else. Okay, it's often a good thing to check before you send it off to someone else, because often they don't want to have formulas in their sheet and get confused. Right, let's highlight these. Control Shift down, goes all the way to the end. We don't want to be going all the way to what is it, 10 million or whatever. Let's go to the top. Select here. Control down. We're down here. We've reached this bottom one. Okay. We want the formulas here, so we're going to tab here. Control up. Control D. It pulls it all the way down. But remember to do your F9. Right. So do all our IDs match? It looks pretty good that all our IDs are matching. We can have a look that way. Or we can see what it's composed of. Okay. Well, it's composed full ID match. Okay. Now what's different here is, do our reasons match? Well, it's possible they could do. You could be ordering 36 again this week, perhaps as a regular customer. Could be ordering again here. Let's have a look. Do any of the reasons match? Well, they don't really. But let's have a little test. Let's try this one. Order 54. If I change that to 54, and press F9. Yeah, our reasons match. Yeah, it's the same. Okay. Likewise here, category C is category C. Okay. So we can now select all of these. Control C to copy. Control Alt V. Paste values. Okay. Now let's press F9, see if all of the reasons match. Reasons match. All of them match up. Okay. Doesn't matter that the one that we had a duplicate of, we've just pasted over it. Okay. Do all our categories match? Well, not really, because we've got some different ones here. A and C. A and C. Well, let's just do the same. Okay. Control Alt V. Values. Down. To check column K here. Press F9. now we know that all of this information is exactly the same here. I'm gonna check, see for every single one. Good to go. Right then, all we need to do, highlight all of this, Control C, open a new sheet. Oh, I've got template there already. There's your list. Okay. There's your list. That's ready to be emailed off. Now that's a lot quicker than messing about by eye, looking for each one. We've got a list of about, what, 100, 180 here, 150. I mean, you could repeat the whole thing indefinitely, and you could use the same method, so you don't have to bother working out what you've ordered before, whether it's the same as last week or if it's different. The main key to it is make sure that all of these are in place. All of these match up. Got the IDs matched up, that's fine. And then you just match up the reasons. You've got your check here and your check here. That's ready, that's good to go. You've placed your order. Next week this is going to be different. All you do is place that back in there onto there. Okay. Now there are other methods that you can use this. You can use index match or VLOOKUP in order to do it a bit more automated. But it's quite a nice step-by-step one. And it sort of helps you to learn what you're doing where. Okay, thanks for listening. Appreciate any questions that hopefully I can answer. Just write them up on the comments part. Thank you very much.